Hello friends, Namaskar. This is Amruta. Welcome to my channel Digital Creative Education. Not to forget like and subscribe to our channel. Today's video is part 2 of Human Anatomy and Physiology. In the previous chapter we had learned about what is anatomy and physiology. If you have missed it, please watch our previous video for better understanding. In today's video we will learn about, first, level of structural organization of the body, second, anatomical terminologies, third, body planes and sections, and lastly fourth, body cavities. Okay friends, now let us start with level of structural organization of the body. The human body has different structural levels of organization, starting with atoms, molecules and compounds, and increasing in size and complexity to cells, tissues, organs, and the systems that make up the complete organism. Okay, now let us focus on the screen. First structural level of organization is atoms, molecules, and compounds. At its simplest level, the body is composed of atoms. The most common elements in living organism are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. Second structural level of organization is cell. The smallest independent units of life. All life depends on the many chemical activities of cells. Some of the basic functions of cell are growth, metabolism, irritability, and reproduction. Third structural level of organization is tissue. Tissue is made up of many similar cells that perform a specific function. The various tissue of the body are divided into 4 groups. They are epithelial, connective, nervous and muscle tissues. Epithelial tissue, found in the outer layer of skin, lining of organs, blood and lymph vessels and body cavities. Connective tissue, connects and supports most part of the body. They constitute most part of skin, bone, and tendons. Muscle tissue, produces movement through its ability to contract. This constitutes skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles. Nerve tissue, found in the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. It responds to various types of stimuli and transmits nerve impulses. Fourth structural level of organization is organ, which is an integrated collection of 2 or more kinds of tissues that works together to perform specific function. For example, stomach is made of all type of tissues and its function is to absorb the nutrients from the food that we intake. Fifth structural level of organization is system. It is a group of organs that work together to perform major function. For example, digestive system, which contains several organs like esophagus, stomach, pancreas, and intestine. All these organs work together as a system and perform the major function of digestion of the food. Sixth structural level of organization is organism level. The various systems of the body like respiratory system, cardiac system, nervous system, digestive system, etc., form the entire organism, or you can say the whole human body. So, I hope you have understood the level of structural organization of human body very well. Okay, now next we will move on to the anatomical terminology. The language of anatomy will probably be unfamiliar to you at the first. But once you have understood the basic word roots, combining word forms, prefixes, and suffix, you will find that anatomical terminologies are not as difficult as you first imagined. For easy understanding, the anatomical terminology can be studied in 3 parts, that is first, anatomical position, second, relative directional terms, and third, body parts and regions. So now what is an anatomical position? The anatomical position is universally accepted as the starting point for positional references to the body. In anatomical position, the subject or individual is standing erect and facing the observer, the feet are together, and the arms are hanging at the sides with the palms facing forward, as shown in the image. Now coming to relative directional terms, it is standardized terms of reference used when anatomists describe the location of the body part. Relative means the location of one part of the body is always described in relation to another part of the body. Let's go through with some relative directional terms for better understanding. Let's focus on the screen. Superior or cranial means toward the head. Example is the leg is superior to the foot. Inferior or caudal means toward the feet. Example is the foot is inferior to the leg. Anterior or ventral means toward the front part of the body. Example is the nose is anterior to the ears. Posterior or dorsal means towards the back of the body. Example is the ears are posterior to the nose. Medial means towards the midline of the body. Example is the nose is medial to the eyes. Lateral means away from the midline of the body. Example is the eyes are lateral to the nose. Proximal means toward, nearer, the trunk of the body or the attached end of a limb. Example is the shoulder is proximal to the wrist. Distal means away or farther from the trunk of the body or the attached end of a limb. Example is the wrist is distal to the forearm. Superficial means nearer the surface of the body. Example is the ribs are superficial to the heart. Deep means farther from the surface of the body. Example is the heart is deeper to the ribs. Peripheral means away from the central axis of the body. Example is peripheral nerves radiate away from the brain and spinal cord. Hope you have understood the relative directional terms used in anatomical terminology. Now, we'll move on to next part, that is body parts regions. The body can generally be described to have areas of axial body part and appendicular body part. So what is axial body part? It is the part of the body near the axis of the body. This includes head, neck, thorax, chest, abdomen, and pelvis. And in appendicular body part, it is the part of the body out of the axis line. This includes the upper and lower extremities. Further, it is customary to subdivide the abdominal area into 9 regions or more easily into 4 quadrants. We can divide the abdominal areas into 9 regions as shown in the image. Let's focus on the image and see what these regions are called as: right hypochondriac region, left hypochondriac region, right lumbar region, left lumbar region, right iliac region, left iliac region, epigastric region, umbilical region, hypergastric region. Or we can easily divide the abdominal area into 4 regions as shown in the second image. Let's focus on the image. Right upper quadrant, left upper quadrant, right lower quadrant, left lower quadrant. Hope you have understood how to divide the abdominal region and what they are called in anatomical terminology. Now we will move on to our third section of the video, that is body planes and sections. Body planes are imaginary surfaces or planes, lines that divide the body into sections. These sections help for further identification of specific areas of the human body. Our body is divided into 4 planes or sections. Namely, sagittal plane, which divides the body into right and left half. Mid-sagittal plane divides body into equal left and right halves. Parasagittal plane divides body into unequal left and right. Frontal plane divides the body into asymmetrical anterior and posterior sections. Transverse plane divides the body into upper and lower body section. Oblique plane divides the body obliquely into upper and lower section. Now we'll move on to our fourth and last section of the video, that is body cavities. The cavities of the body house the internal organs, which commonly referred to as the viscera. The 2 main body cavities are the larger, ventral, anterior, and the smaller, dorsal, posterior, body cavity. The ventral body cavity constitutes the thoracic cavity and the abdominopelvic body cavity. The thoracic cavity houses lungs and heart. It is protected by the rib cage and associated musculature and the sternum anteriorly. It consists of the right and left pleural cavities and mediastinum, which is the portion of tissues and organs that separates the left and right lung. Abdominopelvic cavity extends from the diaphragm inferior to the floor of the pelvis. It is divided into superior abdominal and inferior pelvic cavity by imaginary line passing at upper pelvis. Abdominal cavity contains the stomach, intestine, liver, spleen, and gallbladder. The pelvic cavity contains urinary bladder, rectum, and portions of the reproductive organs. The dorsal body cavity, it constitutes the cephalic cavity containing brain and the vertebral canal containing the spinal cord. Hope you have understood the body cavities. Let's summarize what we have learnt in this video. Today you have learnt about: first, level of structural organization of the body. Second, anatomical terminologies. Third, body plane sections. And lastly, fourth, body cavities. Hope you have well understood all the topics. Thank you for watching my video, and please not to forget like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. You can also comment if you want videos on any subject or matter. This is Amruta. Signing off for today. Namaskar, stay safe and healthy.